What's up, everybody? It's your boy June 5th, June Money, and I'm back at y'all with another video. Today we're gonna react to Diddy Trial Day 7. At first I wasn't seeing where they was proving that he did any type of extortion or payment of money, but today in trial they say he had a sex tape, and he was telling Cassie she had to pay him 20,000 for it. So she got scared and told her mother, and somehow her mother came up with 20,000 and paid it to Diddy. So that right there, for sure, is a confirmed crime. Yeah, let's go.
So there was no Diddy at this birthday celebration or anything like that, especially after kind of the events that occurred. And even just looking at this time frame, this August 2016 was just a few months after the hotel incident that happened at the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles. And so I think what the prosecution was doing was, again, trying to kind of drive home the point that if something were to happen, if Diddy didn't like something, that essentially he would take things away from Cassie. Sometimes her phone, again, sometimes her car. But again, at the end of the day, Regina kind of went into mama bear mode. While she was even on the stand for the most part today, Jesse, she appeared very honest. She appeared like a compelling witness, kind of verifying some of the things that her daughter had said while on the witness stand just last.
So yeah, her mother basically took the witness stand. She would have got charged with conspiracy, but she became a witness, so they gave her immunity. But I mean, who cares? Like, if she's snitching or whatever, y'all gonna try to say.
Last week, and so I thought her testimony was possibly very powerful, especially kind of talking about how she didn't know about the physical violence that she endured by Diddy, or even just some of the things that she may have witnessed. For example, this phone incident that happened in August of 2016. And so I found her to be a very compelling witness.
Yeah, he took Cassie's phone because he thought she was messing with a guy in the NFL, and he also seen her dancing in the club with Chris Brown, bro, and he got mad. So he told her to call her mother. She called her mother. Diddy grabbed the phone out her hand and called Chris Brown or the football player. They won't say which one it is, but he either called either one of them and, threatened them or whatever.
She appeared forthcoming while she was on the stand, again, even admitting that she at one point was so mad that she even tried to hit Diddy at that time. And so, yeah, I think she made for a very compelling witness while on the witness stand. And I know you might ask me a little bit about cross coming up, but unfortunately, everyone, there was no cross-examination. Probably a good move by the defense, because what type of question?
See, that right there is like damaging, because it's like a character analysis, and it's given by a credible person that experienced these acts. It's not like just some random person that doesn't know Diddy. No, this is Cassie's mom. She was that's Diddy's ex-girlfriend's mother. She knows a lot that has been going on. So her testimony is definitely credible.
Questions would they end up asking essentially a victim's mom, you know what I mean?
Are you drowning?
Definitely a victim's mom. Definitely a victim's mom. That's directly, close to the situation. So in that case, it's like, man, he better play the game the best way he could. You feel me? Cause bruh, that's damaging. That's super damaging. Feel me? You got her mother coming on the stand saying this, that, and the third. It's just not a good look, bro.
Yeah, I think they were probably of the opinion either they're not going to deny what she's saying, right? They've accepted a lot of this alleged violence, saying it's domestic violence but doesn't amount to a federal crime, or they're of the opinion if we cross-examine her in such a way, perhaps it could turn the jury against us. and there's nothing we can gain from cross-examining what she had to say. So,
Okay, so the defense thought maybe, okay, her mother's testimony was so damaging against Diddy. If we grill her and ask her all these questions, it's gonna make us look bad. You see what I'm saying? So that's how it went basically. So they chose not to cross-examine the prosecutor's questioning.
very strategic for them not to cross-examine her, but an important witness nonetheless. Not the only important witness who took the stand. I understand that a man named Sheree Hayes took the stand, who goes by
The stripper guy or the male escort, whatever you want to call him, the Punisher.
the stage name The Punisher. Now, talk to us about who this person is, because I understand he was hired by Diddy and Cassie. I understand he told the court about one specific sexual encounter with Cassie and...
Now, in his book, because the guy writes a book, in his book he refers to them as a wealthy couple. He doesn't say Diddy and Cassie. He was a credible witness, and I feel like his testimony more so helped out Diddy because he basically was saying, like, you know, Diddy would be secluded. He didn't have any personal involvement. It was times I couldn't get it up, but because I was in front of in the presence of another man or whatever. But for the most part, it's like Cassie wanted it. It's not his testimony made it like Cassie wanted it, not that Diddy coerced it.
And Diddy that happened at the Trump Tower. So he was this male performer who was hired to have sexual relations with Cassie. What happened at the Trump Tower?
So when Sheree Hayes was initially called to the witness stand, I was thinking, maybe he's somebody of Diddy's employees. We're just going to talk about his time working with Diddy, because when he had walked inside the courtroom today, Jesse, he was wearing a suit. He had a nice long tie on. He appeared very professional. And so when he got on the witness stand and said that he was a male exotic dancer, I think a lot of people were just like, oh.
Diddy a freaky boy, son.
Oh, okay. He's one of the people. And then that's when we get into the nickname, the Punisher, a nickname.
He punished it. Diddy hired a male exotic dancer named the Punisher because he wanted to see him punish his girl. He brought Astroglide. He said Diddy walked into the room butt naked with like a Muslim thing on his face, with Astroglide in his hand. They asked him, "How do you know it's Astroglide?" He said, "I use it myself."
Name that surprisingly he has had since his school days, essentially when he was playing sports and that type of thing. But
I ain't gonna lie, bro. My bad. Diddy a freaky boy.
while he was on the witness stand today, he was really kind of describing essentially just the fantasies that were being played out in these hotel rooms. And so for this, he was paid in the fall of 2012, paid to create a sexy erotic scene. He said he had met Cassie and Diddy after working at some type of club event, and then a woman had called him essentially saying that it was her birthday and that her husband said that she could hire a dancer. And so the Punisher, or Sheree Hayes, thought initially that he was going to be at a bachelorette party dancing for like a group of women to get them excited.
Nigga, he punished her on her birthday for Diddy pleasure? That's not wild. He hired a male escort who now manage other, he call them dry hump dancers. He is the manager of them, and he wrote a book now about his experiences. But on her birthday, son, nah, he different. He
Excited
horny,
for the
son.
bachelorette. But then when he went to this hotel, what ended up happening was a woman met him in a bathrobe. She was wearing a wig, and she opened the door.
Cassie was disguising herself too. not just Diddy, but everybody pick up on who they is eventually. Cause it's like, y'all not slick, bro. We know that's Diddy and Cassie. Like, come on.
And he later revealed that this woman was Cassandra Ventura, aka Cassie. And so this woman, while he was on the phone with her, because he said he had spoken to a woman either on the phone or through text messages, this woman asked to meet him at the Trump Tower and just come straight to the room. He thought it was going to be just $200 for a 45-minute show. And then again, he was greeted by Cassie.
He only wanted 200. You bugging.
Cassie at the door, again, thinking that he was expecting a crowd of bachelorettes who were excited for this type of performance, but again, it was just Cassie inside that room at first. And so he was told by Cassie during this that her husband wanted to her husband wanted her to put baby oil on each other and just kind of rub baby oil to kind of create this type of scene and play out this fantasy. And during this time,
You're a nasty boy. He wanted another man to rub baby oil on his girl while he watched. It was his fantasy. Yeah, he freaky. So. But this, hold up. He freaky. But what do this prove? That he horny? Where's the crime?
time, Cassie had handed him $800. So he was told one stipulation. He was told specifically not to acknowledge the husband or say anything to him. And then he had noticed that all the furniture was covered in sheets. Over to the side, there was some water. Over to the side, there was some baby oil. And that Cassie and the Punisher essentially just kind of rubbed and applied oil onto her.
See, this where the baby oil shit came from. That's why they admitted it into evidence. Because baby oil is in, like, hella different testimonies.
Or baby oil onto each other. During this, he says that a nude man came out, and this man who was essentially nude came out. He had Astroglide, and he recognized the Astroglide because he's an exotic dancer, or something that he says he's used.
Exactly. This is what I was saying earlier. Diddy came out butt naked with a Muslim thing on, like a turban covering his face. But yeah, Astroglide on him. They asked the dude how he knows Astroglide. He said, "I'm familiar with it. I use it myself." They some freaky boys.
And this man had come out, again, he's nude in this situation, but his face was covered. That was the thing. And during this time, the husband, per se, was pleasuring himself while giving Cassie essentially direction. And these directions...
That's not crazy. Diddy was pleasuring himself while telling Cassie what to do to another man. Yes. This means he freaky. But where's the RICO charges?
And these points that he was saying was move to the side or position your bodies a certain way. And so the Punisher said, or Sheree Hayes, excuse me, he had said that this encounter lasted about 25 to 30 minutes. He didn't know it was Diddy being this husband during this incident, until later on. And so he said after this entire encounter, he actually got more money. He got $1,200 after this, and then he was contacted again and again and again, about 8 to 12 more times. And during this, he initially thought Cassie was a woman named Janet because this was the alias that she was using whenever she had contacted Sheree or the Punisher to kind of play out this fantasy essentially. But that's kind of what had went down at the Trump Tower during the fall of 2012.
Let me ask you this.
So basically Cassie is testifying against Diddy and saying that he's the one who was sending her to make the payments. She wasn't making the payments and doing all this stuff because she wanted to do it. Diddy wanted her to do it. So she would be a defendant, but because she's testifying against him, they're not charging her with anything. But yeah, tell me what y'all think, man. Hit the like button. I appreciate y'all watching.